barely 1 year since the Supreme Court made him governor from a distant fourth position, no right-thinking person can say Governor Hope Uzodinma has made the lives of Imolites better. Uzodinma's failure to better the lives of Imolites almost 12 months after his controversial assumption of office has exposed him as a bad leader. The governor's action and inaction since he assumed office on the 20th day of January 2020 has given the people more reasons to reject him and even wish for his soon exit from office. To buttress the above points, there are 12 months rundown of some of the above-mentioned actions and inactions of Governor Uzodinma, which has further estranged him from the people he has been seeking fruitlessly to endear himself. In January, during his inaugural speech, Governor Hope Uzodinma stated, "Imo will prosper under my watch." He went on to say that his vision for a new Imo state is predicated on freedom, security, and shared prosperity, wedded into good governance. Suffice it to say here, without fear of contradiction, that the governor has not fulfilled any of these promises at all. Instead, the reverse has obviously been the case. In the month of January, the governor, being fully aware of the debt profile of the state and the paucity of funds, appointed a total of 63 special advisors and 32 senior special assistants. This is beside the 22 commissioners and other appointed aides. The economic implication of this unnecessarily over-bloated list of appointees cannot be overstated. The huge cost of maintaining all the aides definitely takes a serious toll on the lean resources of the state. No wonder the government is unable to meet its financial obligations on almost all fronts. Conversely, this runs contrary to the shared prosperity ideology of this administration, which appears to be in the place to consume instead of create wealth. In the month of February, the governor signed into law the amendment of the Imo State Revenue Administration Law 2020 to channel 95% of the internally generated revenue directly to the government office. This was meant to boost the revenue base of the state and better the lives of Imolites. Since this law was signed and implemented, the government has not been able to explain to Imolites what they have achieved with the 95% internally generated revenue, running into billions of naira since the past 11 months. In this same month, the governor informed Imolites that his administration has commenced a comprehensive maintenance work on the Otamiri head works of the Owerri Regional Water Scheme as part of measures to guarantee constant supply of potable water to residents of Owerri Metropolis. 11 months after, not a single home in Owerri Metropolis can boast of supply of potable water from the Owerri Regional Water Scheme. Boreholes have remained the main source of potable water to most residents of Owerri Metropolis. Furthermore, the governor told Imolites that certain foreign investors by the name America International Health Incorporated, led by its chief medical officer, Professor Uche Nwaneri, had donated $1.2 million worth of medical equipment to the state. Till date, Imolites have not seen, let alone make use of the so-called equipment. Judging by this, it is crystal clear that this government is gambling and politicking with the health of Imolites. On the 28th day of April 2020, the governor pledged to revive the multi-billion naira Avotu poultry established by late Governor Sam Mbakwe. To make good his promise, the governor brought in local investors by the name CMX Industries, managed by the disqualified All Progressive Congress APC Imo North senatorial rerun candidate Mr. Frank Ibezim. Mr. Ibezim and his team paid a cursory visit to the poultry and disappeared. The poultry has remained moribund till date. In the same month, and during his address on his 100th day in office, Governor Uzodinma claimed that the internally generated revenue of the state had increased from 600 million naira to 1.2 billion naira. He also claimed that 2 billion naira is being saved monthly after eradicating the stinking fraud in the public service payroll system. This is beside the over 4 billion naira received as monthly allocation from the federal account. He further promised that with these savings, the government would be able to deliver more roads, more housing, and better hospitals and schools in the coming months and years. Additionally, he promised to pay worker salaries on or before the end of the month. Again, up till now, Imolites have neither seen the monthly savings of 3.2 billion naira and the over 4 billion naira monthly allocation, not the new roads, housing, better hospitals and schools promised by the governor. Also, worker salaries and pensions are not paid at the end when due. Instead, they are being owed many months in arrear. In May, the governor, during his inspection visit, promised to revive adapt palm and create employment for over 35,000 Imolites. Till date, the company has not been revived and no job has been created for 35,000 people as promised. In June, due to the excruciating hardship they have experienced as a result of non-payment of their entitlement since March, pensioners staged a peaceful protest on the 22nd day of June 2020. Aged and weak senior citizens defied the scorching sun to demonstrate on the streets of Owerri to demand for their rights. Unfortunately, their plea fell on deaf ears as the governor ignored them and has not paid up to the arrears of their unpaid pensions till date. In the same month, the governor, being jittery about the strong opposition mounted by the People's Democratic Party in defense of the suffering masses, ordered the arrest and detention of party news media spokesman Ambrose Uwangugu. Uwangugu was arraigned on trumped up charges of terrorism and for calling Uzodinma Supreme Court governor. Many view the governor's action as undemocratic, autocratic, and a calculated attempt to muzzle the opposition. Opposition is the beauty of democracy, and it is believed that the governor was able to pay attention to minor comments made by the youthful spokesman because he wasn't actually busy with his governors. For no busy governor would have time to order the arrest of an opposition spokesman simply because he referred to him as a Supreme Court governor. In July, Uzodinma took Imolites for another ride when he announced that his administration had signed a memorandum of understanding with Julius Berger Construction Company on Owerri, Olu Road construction. Till date, Imolites have neither seen Julius Berger Construction Company mobilized to site nor the commencement of instruction on the said road. If a poorer state like Ebonyi could reconstruct good roads and 10 flyovers using Julius Berger Construction Company, what is stopping Imo from doing the same? August, Imo state government purportedly launched mobile health insurance program with support from World Health Organization (WHO), achieved seamless coverage of the over 96% population in the informal sector of the state on health insurance, while reducing the existing out-of-pocket expenditure of 92%. Till date, not a single citizen can attest to the fact that they have been covered. The whole program simply fizzled out like others. In this same month, based on report by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), 25% of the total unemployable people in Imo State were either unemployed or underemployed, thereby making Imo unemployment capital of Nigeria. According to NBS, Imo had an unemployment rate of 48.7% as at the second quarter of 2020, by far the highest when compared to other states in Nigeria. This report goes to show how badly managed the economy of the state has been under Governor Uzodinma, and the long-suffering people of Imo are at the receiving end of the apparent ineptitude of what seemed to be a caricature of governance. No thanks to the infectious Supreme Court judgment of January 20, 2020. In September, furtherance to his dictatorial tendencies, Governor Uzodinma signed into law the Draconian Imo State Administration of Criminal Justice Bill No. 2 of 2020, which empowers him to arrest and detain Imolites at will. It is very sad that while more important issues are left without legislation, this administration is busy plotting on how to suppress the people using the instrument of the law. Law is meant to improve the lives of the people and not the other way around. Any law designed to oppress and suppress the people is repugnant, not equity and justice, and should be repelled. In October, sequel to the #EndSARS protest, Governor Uzodinma approved the sum of 2 billion naira from a 6 billion naira embanked for youth empowerment to be deployed for training of first batch of beneficiaries. The governor stated that the first and second, third batches of an estimated number of 500,000 Imo youths will be trained in different skill acquisition programs within the next 2 years and provided with the startup capital to begin their own enterprises. Till date, the venue and beneficiaries of the seemingly plausible program have remained a mirage. Instead, Imolites woke up one morning to the news that the governor had imported rabbits from overseas worth 2 billion naira and that the rabbits were shed 3 appeals to the youth. Who the beneficiaries are and the location of their farms also remain a mirage. Apparently, the program folded up like others. December, the sudden closure of the state secretariat by the governor when workers' salary were yet to be paid for few days to Christmas was viewed as inhumane by many observers. The closure disrupted plans by workers to get some palliatives for the festive period since the government had no plans for their welfare. It is on record that some workers are still owed October to November salaries, while others have yet to be paid since March. The government's claim that it had paid worker salaries up to date is nebulous and at best another mirage. To make matters worse, the kidnap of the auxiliary bishop of Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri, Bishop Moses Chikwe, by unidentified gunmen has further heightened the high level of insecurity in the state. This is one too many of the list of kidnaps in the state since the Ember months. If a prominent religious figure like Bishop Chike could be whisked away in broad daylight by armed hoodlums, it then means that the security of lives and property in the state is not guaranteed. What then has the government been doing with the billions spent so far from the security vote? This runs contrary to the governor's maiden speech where he promised improved security for Imolites. This is just to mention but a few. In conclusion, it is not rocket science for any right-thinking person to decipher at this point that the reason why Imolites still reject Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma or the millions spent by the governor to stage-manage receptions here and there to give a false impression of public acceptance would have been put to better use in a way that could have endeared him to the people. But service delivery seemed to be far from the governor's agenda. Supreme Court governor has been exposed once again. Guys, let's hear your own take down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye for now and God bless.